Hi Taurus, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a timeless reading for you. We have 10 of Swords and we also have 8 of Wands and Knight of Wands. I'm getting something about sort of going against the current a little bit, but I feel at the same time like this is kind of going to die down. Starting off with the 10 of Swords shows the end of a cycle that's culminating. Well, that's culminated, I guess. And then moving forward, kind of like this has given you one solid direction now that this has happened, and that is the direction that you're going in. It feels almost like it leaves you no other choice than to go a certain way here. So the only way is forward in this particular direction. That's what this is feeling like to me. As it is, having the Knight of Wands feels almost like you're going this way. There may be something where there's like maybe going upstream a little bit, like trying to swim upstream. So there can be maybe a burst of energy or like wanting to go back. It kind of feels like trying to go upstream a little bit back to this, even though this feels like it feels like this sends you kind of like down a slide. So there's only one slide to go down, and this feels like trying to crawl back up a little bit, but then I'm seeing 4 of Swords be there. So this can be actually gonna put a pause. Like maybe there was an impulse to try to go that way, which is going to be going backwards. This will be the way forward. So this would have been like maybe an impulse to go backwards a little bit, but then sort of regrouping instead. And it feels like this can be pausing, this can be taking a break, this can be getting rest, this can be recharging. Maybe there was I want to go back into this to maybe, it feels like maybe restart this cycle, or more accurately, maybe like keep something alive that it feels like it's over now. But maybe there was something about like wanting to sort of fight the current of energy and like keep something alive, even though you sort of got sent down the slide. That's what this is feeling like to me. And then having that 4 of Swords there feels like maybe just like a resigning, but more of a surrendering to where you land after going down the slide. Saying like maybe that isn't the best use for my energy to be fighting against this, or to be like trying to keep something alive, trying to sustain something where it feels very obvious that this is the way that the cycle is going. So why would I be trying to fight that or trying to undo that? I don't know if that's the best use for my energy. So then 4 of Swords is feeling like a concession of some sort, where there's like maybe an acceptance of that, and like I need to recharge right now, or I need to regroup right now. I need to sort of like reestablish my sense of connection. So it feels like the busyness kind of dying down. And once that happens, where it feels like your mind is right again, like maybe there was like impulsively I want to do this, like I'm feeling an impulse to do this with my energy, but then it feels when there's a settling down in your mind where you can start seeing things clearly again, it feels like you know why you were sent down the slide, and that you're meant to continue going in that direction, that it wasn't like going the wrong way and you were just fighting against it before. So this feels like, okay, I take that. I was doing this before, like I was trying to run back into something. Now over here, I'm settling and I feel like I'm seeing things clearly, and then I know what I need to do. And this feels like continuing to just go the direction that the slide was taking you in the first place, like the current of energy. So you're not fighting it anymore, and this feels like acceptance to me. But that Knight of Wands is feeling like one last fight. And then there's the, like, going with the rest of the current. Because, yeah, maybe this was something that you were still trying to, like, have live on a bit. Like, with the Ten of Swords, I almost kind of get a bewildered feeling, like maybe your automatic feeling of something happening is to try to keep it alive. You know, without like fully reflecting on what it is that like you're doing. That could have just been the instinct. Now I even feel like a sense of feeling protective over this, like this going on. This feels like wanting to like protect the mind from this. Like, this feels like being in quite a vulnerable space. This is feeling like protecting what's in the vulnerable space, because this can already feel quite overwhelming. Just like a lot to digest. So then this can be the thing that sort of keeps a barrier around. I'm definitely seeing you move to better days. I'm seeing the Ten of Cups here. So I get the feeling like this actually did need to close out in order for you to connect with your Ten of Cups. Because that's where the current is taking you. And wouldn't you be happy to go? Just feels like making more room. So, in following where the stream is taking you, it feels like you're much better off for that than seeing Knight of Wands and seeing Judgment below is about assessing that direction that you're putting your energy into. Like, what are you fighting for here? What are you using your energy to be doing, and checking in about that? How am I using this aspect of my energy? Like, how am I mobilizing that? What am I mobilizing it for? And then it feels like quieting to really tune in. And in that moment, I feel like the message becomes very clear to you that you are meant to keep marching forward here in a way that there could have been resistance to doing that before. Like, you really could have wanted to go back when really that wasn't the way. And I feel like there's a deeper understanding of what's going on here now, at this point. Needing to go through that to connect more deeply, feeling like this clarifies a sense of direction for you that maybe the clouds were kind of covering before. You know what this feels like to me with the direction of the Knight of Wands, which is going to be very deeply connected with the way that you're channeling your energy, like what you're using your life force for. It feels like the difference between when you were like trying to swim upstream, it feels like this plant that has died and trying to bring it back to life and like trying to keep watering it and hoping that something will happen even though it's like dead, like you're ready to go to the next cycle of things. And it feels like having been using your energy to try to like bring it back to life. And like, even if you do for a minute, it feels like it's time for this thing to come to an end. And so you could maybe put it off for a little bit, but inevitably it feels like the Ten of Swords is going to be there. Like it's just the end of that life cycle of this cycle. And it feels like a checking in when we get to Knight of Wands and Judgment to really look at that and say, like, is this what you really want to be using your energy for now? If you take a step back and you assess, feel like you're going to see some things that you weren't seeing before, when maybe just automatically you were like, gotta keep watering the plant. Like it just feels like an automatic thing that was being done and there wasn't like a deeper checking in. And then when that deeper checking in happens, it feels like knowing that you're meant to be watering something else. So I feel like that's where this comes. So it's like trying to water the plant, pausing, and in the pausing, things becoming clear and you seeing where you're meant to be going. And that's that then. It feels abundantly clear now at this point that that was something that was meant to end. You were meant to go with the rest of the current, and now you really are following that. You're not resisting it anymore. And it feels even like this is about something bigger now. But maybe there was a part of you that didn't want to give up. You know, there was a part of you that could have been like the current trying to pull you away, like, stop watering the plant. You're meant to keep going. And you being like, no, I want to keep watering it. And then like over and over again, like trying to do it when the current is like, no, just come with me. Because, you know, the current is the thing that's looking out for your best interest. But when we're not, it just feels like the difference between like doing something automatically, not being like fully aware and fully checked in and being like, no, I gotta save it. And then waking up to the current being like, we're moving you this way. And then remembering like the current is the guiding force. And that it is something that is looking out for your best interest, and it is something that's guiding you. And then it feels like when that's sort of remembered here, that you're like, oh, this is the way that I'm supposed to be going. And then it feels like you sort of go with the flow of things then. So yeah, something happening can be feeling hard to digest. Feels like too, that's why there can be resistance of that. Then there's the checking in, the tuning in, and then there's the like moving forward as you're meant to be. Yeah, this can really come from a place of like not wanting something to be finished, or being like, I'm not ready yet, or like, I didn't want this to happen yet, even though it feels very inevitable here. And the sun really being up ahead, and that will be something very nourishing to connect with, and that's why you're being drawn in that direction. That's why you're being guided in that direction. That current is going to feel like spirit leading you somewhere. So that will be the feeling. So we don't always understand it. However, there's a feeling of trust and a knowing that this is a guiding force that is one connected with integrity and merit. Like one that really is, again, supportive of your best interest. And so there can be a trust within that. And when you connect with that deeper part of your soul, you know that this is the way to go. And I think that this gives you courage to move forward then, to like sort of take this by storm, even though it means that there's some traveling now. But you're able to see that. So, all right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.